Yep. Got a kink in my neck, and I got to call the doctor and get Mackenzie back in because she's got the crud again.
Oh my gosh, darn
Yeah,
it.
I know. Let's see. Let's
Okay.
see. This is probably Carol Cox texting in. No, that's not her.
Well,
We'll see
alright.
who we have. Some people are on spring break.
Oh, yeah. Spring break, that'd be nice.
It would be nice. Sure.
Yes,
If you could actually not just have it occur, but actually go somewhere.
exactly. I've been thinking about it, but that's all I'm doing is thinking about it. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to go with the spring breakers, Catherine.
This is true. I have no desire to be in that mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a blast from the past, Tamara Adams.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Hi.
Good
Morning,
morning.
good
Oh my gosh,
morning.
it's 8:02 and you're up.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
So,
well,
Tamara, I used to think you had small dogs. Those are big dogs.
Those are actually lions that are in that picture.
Huh? Those are lions?
Yeah, those are lions that is in that picture. We're walking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We walked with the lions in Zambia last year.
oh my.
Oh, brave soul. Mm.
Awesome.
Yep, awesome.
All right. Well, maybe we'll wait one more. I see Amanda Gleason is on. Gleason is on. Good morning, Amanda. Well, let's wait. Well, no. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started, ladies, then. So, yes, happy Monday. Ready or not, here we are in another week. So let's start it off good. Let's just be positive about it and know that this week is brand new. This day is brand new. So we can just focus on today. So after a weekend, let's just check in a little bit from a scale of 1 to 5. How did everybody do this weekend? How about Tamara? Let's start with you. How do you feel you've done this weekend?
This weekend was a bust for me, so I'm literally just kind of getting started again. Just every meal is an entity unto itself.
Okay. Are you having challenges that we could help with? Anything that you'd want to talk about or?
My main issue is just it's an extremely busy time of the year for me. And so I just have to be more mindful of planning my meals and just staying on track.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. It is busy for you. I remember that. So, okay. All right. Well, we're glad you're here today. Excellent. All right. Pamela Perkins, we see you on here. Good morning. We're just checking
Good
in
morning.
on yeah, of 1 to 5, how we did over the weekend. Do you want to share anything, Pamela?
Unfortunately, no, I'm here for listening.
Okay. Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you. Good morning. How about Irma? You want to check in?
So I am going to say overall, I'm a 3. I mean, yeah, 3.5 because my timing was off
Okay.
a couple of days, but still on plan food, but timing off.
Okay. Good. Good. Very good.
Mhm.
Right. Amanda Gleason, how about you? How did you do this weekend? Scale of 1 to 5.
Probably a 2, but yesterday was better, so
Yeah.
get back on track today.
Excellent. All right. Good. Glad you're here today. All right, oh, we got Miss Lydia. Good morning, Lydia. We're just checking in on a scale of 1 to 5, how everybody did over the weekend. Do you want to share?
I could share. With me being sick, I'm not really eating, so I'm not sure what number to place on that. So I'll like eat like fruit in the morning and then maybe one meal. Just because I'm not hungry and all the things. So
Yeah,
just what happens when I'm sick. So
yeah,
I'm on the
yeah.
rebound, so hopefully get back on a regular pattern this week. So
Oh.
that's the plan anyway.
Good, good. Well, I'm glad you're on the rebound. That's good because, yeah, I remember you said you had a fever last week. So hopefully the fever is gone and you're building back some strength.
Yeah. So it's just now I'm just down to the congestion part, but
Mm,
you got the allergies kicking in too, the environmental with all the
mm,
budding and all that fun stuff. So, it just adds to the fun.
right. Yeah, definitely season popping up. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for checking in. Glad you're here this morning. All
And
right.
did anybody
Yeah.
else have all the event canceled in there? Because I had to go to the save Zoom link that I had. It's canceled out of in my calendar. So I didn't know if I know there was issues over the weekend because on Saturday when I tried to log in, it got canceled and then rescheduled. And when I was waiting for a note back that it was on,
Mm,
I didn't see it until a couple hours later. So
mm-hmm.
It was just, the only thing it was is like on Saturday, the week before I had asked Cart to
put at
schedule
9.
at 9.
Uh,
And so I guess he did that for every Saturday. And
oh,
so anyway, I changed it back to 8 and that's why it said canceled, but I just changed the time. So, what I may do is just have Cart update our invitation.
okay.
Yeah, I'll just have
Yeah.
them.
'Cause for me, the rest of the time, it just says canceled. It doesn't. So I just went back to my saved link that you
Yeah.
shared the last time and
Yeah, we use
got
that
on.
link every time, but we
Yeah.
want to get it right on the calendar, so I'll have him do that.
Okay, that is all.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. All right. I see Miss Pamela Robbins has jumped on. Good morning, Pam. We're just checking in on a scale of 1 to 5, how we did over the weekend. You want to share?
Yeah. Um, I'd say a 3. My timing, some of my timings were off. I did, have my food packed for being at mom's. But it was just it was a good weekend. There was some good communication with one of my family members about my mom. So it was good for me. Yeah. It was just I didn't get a 5.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Well, we're glad you're here this morning. Glad to have you with us.
Mhm.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Good. All right. Angie Nuttall, would you like to share how you did? If you're able to.
I am. So, I was kind of up and down this weekend. I mean, part of it was, um, well, I think it was mainly like Saturday night I was struggling. So I would say on average this weekend, probably a 3.5 is what I would say.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's just what I would say.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing. Okay. I would say For myself, I struggled a little bit this weekend as well. I was working out in the yard on Saturday, which was good, but I love working out in the yard so much that I didn't stop really to eat, as I should have. So my timing was off. But one thing I struggled with this weekend was just the crunchy. I needed something crunchy. And so I think for me, when that happens, there's just some emotions happening, some, just definitely some emotions. Because the funny thing is, my husband had gone to the store and this wasn't a good thing necessarily, but he comes back and he knows I love cashews. So all of a sudden, out of the bag comes a can of cashews, and I grabbed that can and I was like, "Arr." So that was, well, I know we're not doing nuts right now, so that's the bad thing about it. But I tell you what, in that moment, I could not have asked for anything better but a can of cashews, and he didn't even know I was craving something crunchy. But boy, I tore into that just like I hadn't eaten, like I was in But anyway, so I found it kind of comical at one point. I was like, wait a minute, what did I just do? But so that was my weekend. But anyway, so here we are. It's Monday morning. Got a good message today from the Lord, I feel. Just a good reminder for all of us. So I'm going to go into that. Our church service yesterday was just very powerful. And I do love, and I know we've talked about this last week, but Angie, I think you mentioned it even in our the women's Bible study at our church. We're talking about the Israelites coming out of Egypt, coming into the promised land. And I tell you what, ladies, this is really just hitting home in our Fit and Focus program. So the scripture I have for you today is just a good reminder. It's Isaiah 43, 18 and 19. It says, forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. I love that. I love that so much because that's what the Lord is telling us, even in our Fit and Focus program. Do not forget, or do forget, the former things. So all the times that, we, not even just yesterday, but even, maybe past habits that we've had where, we may be, we may, excuse me, be making progress in our reactions to our emotions and stress by stress eating, right? Or going to the cupboards. And any progress that you're making, do not forget is that is a victory, right? So put the former things in the past. Do not think about the past because again, he's renewing our minds. We talked about that last week too. We're renewing our minds. We're retraining ourselves. So forget the former things. That's what the Lord is telling us. He is giving us his promise that if we can forget the former things, do not dwell on the past, he is making a way for us in the wilderness. The wilderness of what? Our wilderness for each of us is different. You know what I mean? So, so I just felt that was so, strong for us and what we all seem to be going through, in our food fight or in our Fit and Focus. We do really well, and then we have a little bit of a challenge, right? But we cannot fall back and not, and stay there. So, so does that, I just want to open that up and just have a, short discussion. We've got a little bit of time, but let's talk about this. Let's pick apart this scripture a little bit. What are some of the former things that some of us need to forget? Can you think of at least one thing that you feel like, gosh, I'm really struggling to forget this former thing, or what a habit, or some type of something that may even be a stronghold for you? What is it that you're having a challenge letting go of or forgetting? Can anybody think of anything?
I think sometimes that we think about Egypt as some pleasure, but really it's not. To go back into it is it's mythical. We have some mythical thinking going on. For me, it's always in my food fight is always some type of a bread that tempts me, and I'm just having that hurdle again. I'm having that hurdle again because when I have given in this session, it has been some type of a bread, and I think of that. Was it the Israelites that had the manna and they stored it and it got rotten? And it's like, I don't need to store that. I don't need to worry about having in the future. I think I still deal with don't want to waste because we had food brought into us this week, because of Brandon's surgery. And even though I froze and I gave away, some of it to a girlfriend that's single. There was still temptation. I still, that was still there. And I wanted to throw it away. There was times I wanted to throw it away. I thought about throwing it away instead of eating it, but I ate it. So there's, it has to be, I think some of that is, I think it's, a fear of lack or something. I don't know. I mean, because right now, I think things are tight with our situation, but in God's economy, it's not because He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. But I think that I need to get into more the Bible on blessings and provision or something, because I think I'm not where I want to be in my career, in my home business, and I'm not where I want to be in my physical stamina. And I am leaning on God every day, but there's still that lack, the fear of lack. So I won't take up, I know everybody has something, but
Hey Pam, I want to just piggyback off of that because one of the things that I struggle to let go that's a pre-existing condition is not wasting.
Mhm.
You know, like Mackenzie and I went to one of our favorite places to go together is Kumo here in Greenwood, Japanese steakhouse. And they give you so much. And when we went, I'm like, I'm going to be okay with leaving some things on my plate. But I mean, it was a struggle to,
Mhm.
To leave. I didn't have any problem leaving the rice.
Yeah.
I've learned a trick. When I look at rice, I think about mac.
Right. Right.
That's where my mind goes, and so that's a helpful intervention. But I'm a carnivore. I'm a meat eater. I love meat, and I had the hibachi steak, and I really really struggled to. I could just hear my mom in the
Mhm.
background. You need to eat every
Yes.
plate, and
Right.
so that's something that I battle with from time to time, and it's challenging. It's something that has to be that has to be broken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That's really good, Angie. Thank you. I love that. Anybody else have anything that comes up that may be something you're having a hard time keeping
I
in the
think for,
past? Mhm.
I think for me, my main issue is um, just fall into this circular this never ending cycle. I spend a lot of emotional eating, and I just really recognize that I'm going through some emotional things right now that stemmed from last year that are still, I'm still processing. And I did not give myself an opportunity. Let's go, let's move, let's move, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I don't stop sometimes to just process what has happened, allow myself a good cry, and that as a result, it's caused me to, I have been eating emotionally, a lot of emotional eating. Um, and I just realized, hey, that's what your issue is. So just allowing myself, the thing from the past for me to let go would be not myself to just process the moment that I'm dealing with and allow myself that time. Because I was just taught when I was younger that, and I don't realize how much time that comes up in my day-to-day life, is that crying is a sign of weakness, or if you're not up doing something, you're not being productive. So I think that's my thing. It's just kind of giving myself that time to process.
That's good. I love that. Hmm. Time to process. That's right. It's kind of that pause. I think we've talked about sometimes we have to pause when we're having emotions or we're feeling stress and take that time rather than reacting to it, just to medicate or to relieve any kind of emotion that we might be having.
Yeah, and
That's good.
I think that's a good word you said. I think I've been using food to medicate myself. Um, Gives me a feeling, gives me and I've just gotten to the picture that you posted on Facebook, I almost cried at it because I was like, I'm so happy that you posted that picture. You just said you don't want to go back. And I think about, what I had accomplished with Food Fight, with my food fight, and I feel like I've lost ground, but I've been telling myself, Tamara, no, I feel like I have lost ground, but I've been telling myself, Tamara, it's time to move forward. You can't, sit in that muck and mire, forever. Just move forward.
Mm. Yeah, that's good. Because I think the enemy would love that. He would love for you to stay in that feeling of, like maybe if you're feeling as though you failed or, you know what I mean? And kind of stay in that negative uh heaviness of falling back, right? He
Right.
likes to keep it there. So, yeah, I love that you're saying that because, yes, getting up and moving forward because that's what the Lord is saying, right? I am making a way in the wilderness, you know, and that's his, we stand on his word. That's where we put our trust. That's where we put our belief. That's where we even put our action, right? Because once we know what the Lord's word says and what his promises are, that helps us to move. And because we can read the word all day long, but again, it's the action um that really starts to propel us. You know what I mean? So we have to we have to receive that. That's the other part, to receive what the Lord is telling us. And just really grab hold of that and then start moving. You're right, start moving forward. And so I think that's good. That's really good. All right, does anybody else? Irma, Lydia, Amanda?
I'm in agreement with what I'm hearing. But I work on daily trying to renew my mind so that I'm not stuck and going back. But Catherine, this weekend too, I was having the munchies for crunchies, and I'm like, why am I overdoing it on these Grissinis? They're not even, they really don't have a taste, right? Some of them doesn't have a taste, but it worked, right? I felt better about that than getting cookies.
Mm,
I'm like, well, I don't have the sugar. So I rationalized. I didn't, I shouldn't have had that either. But it's a daily journey, and I recognize that, and I don't want to go back. So I recognize the daily journey, the daily fight, and I do ask myself, why am I doing this? Sometimes I
Mhm.
get an answer, and sometimes I don't.
mm, That's good. That's good, Irma. Well, at least you're continuing in the journey, and being aware, having the awareness, that's another thing we talk about also. Awareness is very important. So staying aware of you're what you're craving or what's happening in that moment where you're wanting to grab something, and then just staying aware that it is a journey. Take one meal at a time, one day at a time. So just really staying aware, and so that we can pause when we need to, and pray when we need to, reach out to someone when we need to, um, just help us get through a rough spot, however we may do that, so that we can keep going and have success. So yeah, very good, very good.
Hey, Catherine, I wanted to
Yes.
add one more thing that is a mindset struggle. So sometimes, like when we're doing a lot of physical exertion, like this past week, I probably had more physical exertion in the week than I had had all month. I mean, I was sweating, I mean, moving furniture around for all the events and everything. And there's a mindset there that that popped up that was like, oh, I've got to eat more because I'm exerting more energy, which with the plan, I mean, it's okay to increase a little bit, but it's like you have to be mindful. You're given an inch, don't take a mile. So it's about, recognizing, but also if I'm going to increase my calorie intake for the physical exertion, not to go overboard with it and stay on plan with the right foods. So I don't know if anybody else has struggled with that, but that was something that I came face to face with this week. And I was like, okay, let me make sure that I'm keeping in my boundaries, because
Mhm.
the enemy he'll definitely take a mile, and he'll try to get you to go a mile with him
Mhm.
and say, "Oh my gosh, you've been moving furniture all day. Your body is so sore. You've probably burned about 2,000 calories today. So why don't you just go ahead and make that up?" And
Mhm.
and I mean, even just with our whole concept right now, we're still trying to eliminate complexity
Mhm.
in what we're eating. And so it's tempting to say, oh, I want to get a chef salad that has the boiled eggs and the chicken and the blah blah, and that complexity, although the foods may be healthy, we're still trying to reduce complexity right now, and we're not at that phase. So I mean, that's something that I have to work on too.
Yeah. No, that's good. Thank you, Angie. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's just close with this. Just as a reminder, today is day 18. We will go into fat freeze on day 24. That's when we start. So we have 5 more days in the post detox, the next 12 phase. So again, nothing's changing right now, staying with what we've been doing. But again, so 5 more days, ladies, and then we can go into the fat freeze. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. And then, okay. So I just want to leave you with one thing. and then we'll jump off here and get started with our week. One thing that was said, our pastor said yesterday during his message, and I thought it was really good. It says, we get our delicious moment, but at the cost of our life. So we may have our delicious moment when we take that cheat or whatever it might be, that thing we're craving, but what's the cost? But at the cost of our life. So we can just, anyway, I'm just going to let you chew on that. Chew on that. So we get our delicious moment, but at the cost of our life. And I've just been thinking about that. That's really good, because that can be, we can think about that in a lot of different ways. But anyway, just something for you to think about. And again, just remember Isaiah 43, 18, 19. And with that, ladies, does anybody have anything else they want to share or ask or anything? All right, ladies, well, go and have a wonderful Monday. Don't forget Monday Mindset, or Mindset Monday, sorry, at 4 o'clock, right, Angie? Anything else you want to remind anybody of?
No, we'll just be on at 4, and I'm loving our Bible study at Charity. I mean, I've got a good nugget for us today for Mindset Monday. So, would love for everybody to be on.
Okay, wonderful. All right, ladies, well, you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you either at 4 o'clock or tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.